Is this thing on? Hello guys, how are you? David DeFranco here from daviddefranco.com, or should I say askdavidpodcast.com. That domain will automatically forward you to my podcast page on my personal website, which will soon be redesigned, by the way. The entire website is coming out with a fresh look. Hopefully that video will be out tomorrow. Don't really know though. Either way, today's video, regardless of the website, is all about podcasting and how I create my podcast, because a few of you may be wondering, how do you create a podcast with kick-ass audio? And this video is going to tell you how to do just that. Now, let me get something out of the way. I am by no means a podcasting expert. Trust me, I'm not. But I've learned so much in just the past 2 weeks, so I think I'm qualified to give this kind of advice. So listen up, here we go. First up, you need a good microphone. Currently, I'm using the Blue Snowball mic. Got this thing in 2008. It's not really like a kick-ass microphone by today's standards, but it can still get the job done. So with that said, you don't need like an overly fancy microphone. Just as long as the audio sounds good, then by all means, use that microphone. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. However, this thing will change your life. This is the Shure MV88. And by Shure, I mean Shure MV88 Lightning microphone. $150, but guys, you know what? Worth every single dollar. This I bought myself, and I have zero regrets. Seriously, the microphone is that good for 2 reasons. Actually, a variety of reasons. Number 1, it's Lightning. It literally plugs right into my iPhone or iPad via the Lightning connector. Boom, done. Number 2, it swivels. This is a stereo microphone. This is actually built with interviews and instruments in mind. So this is not only for podcasting, but you can use it in a variety of, let's just call them scenarios. But for me, obviously, I'm just going to be using this for podcasting. So this is great. It comes towards me. Boom. And number 3, the audio quality is downright fantastic. Here's a quick example. Just in case you don't watch my weekend vlogs, I'm taking this video as an opportunity to explain the podcast and what it is. So first of all, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's all about you asking me questions. So as you can hopefully hear, the audio quality is just mind-blowingly good. Again, for $150, I just think it's incredible. It really is that good. And finally, the 4th reason why I enjoy this microphone so much is because it's directly compatible with the Shure Plus Motive app, or Shure Motive Plus. I think it's Shure Plus Motive. So this is a free app that was designed specifically with Shure microphones in mind. And guys, let me tell you, it does not disappoint either. It is just a downright seamless experience, and it just works. I take so much pride in saying that. I buy products and I use products that just work. And this one is no different. Okay, so once that's out of the way, what's next? Well, obviously, you talk. You record your podcast about whatever topic you're talking about. For me, it's Q&A. I take your questions related to anything that I do on a daily basis, from running a small business, to video content, to design, to affiliate marketing, to advertising. Bada bing, bada boom, the list goes on and on. I answer those questions in podcast form. Okay, so once that's done and recorded, I airdrop the audio file from the Shure Plus Motive app to my Mac. I love airdrop. It automatically puts it into the download stack, which you can see right down here. Works great. I love it. And then I open GarageBand. As you can see right here, this is episode 13. I just wrapped this one up actually, and that will be live by the time you watch this video. It should be anyway. And well, this is my workflow. I drop in my podcast intro, which I have on iCloud, by the way. As you can see right here, I have everything right here. Okay, so I do this for one very important reason. I use iCloud primarily because I can access these files from wherever I am as long as I'm online. Whether it's my iPhone, my iPad, or my Mac, I can always access these files. And that is a huge deal. Okay, so again, as you can see, we have the episodes folder. We have images for, sharing and whatever. Intros. And finally, the questions themselves. anytime I get a question that I can use in a podcast, I drop that question into this questions folder. Then I drop that into the project, obviously. But anyway, this is my workflow. I open up GarageBand, and then I drop in my first intro, which is right here, podcast intro. You've got questions, I've got answers. This is the Ask David podcast. All right, you guys get the point. I drop that in. That's this audio file. And then I drop in the actual episode recording, which again was transferred from AirDrop into my download stack. I drag it into here, start cutting, and then I drop the question in from the folder right here, questions. The last one came from Anthony Menegoni. Shout out to Anthony. Dude, thank you so much. I drop that question in, cut it to its appropriate length, and then I go back to my episode file and I finish it from there. And then I save the actual GarageBand file save, or just Command S. And then finally, we go up to Share, Export Song to Disk. This is the way I export the final file from my GarageBand project to an AAC file or MP3. As you can see, you have the choice down here, but I prefer AAC, highest quality for iTunes Plus. I name the file episode 13. I'm going to say replace. Now it's going to export it in real time. As you can see, it takes about 10 to 20 seconds. Almost done. Then it converts it, I believe, to, let me see, converts it from WAV to AAC. Yeah, not bad. And it's done. So now if we go back into my iCloud folder for the Ask David podcast episodes, it's right down here, episode 13. Quick look. You've got questions, I've got answers. Done. Fast forwarding. The ability to challenge myself makes a difference. So there you go. That is my process of actually making the podcast. Now, in terms of publishing, what do I do? Well, I use SoundCloud.com to host the files. As you can see right here, there they are. Okay, so what's really cool about this process is SoundCloud is technically the host, but this host creates what's called an RSS feed. An RSS feed basically holds all the data related to your podcast. Title, episodes, graphics, tags, descriptions, all that good stuff. Okay, so then all that data is fed into podcasting services and platforms like iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher Radio, and of course, SoundCloud itself. So again, let me make that clear because this is also new to me. SoundCloud is the host, but services like iTunes and Google, they simply read that data from the RSS feed that's created by SoundCloud. Okay, so in other words, this means that you do not need to upload your podcast to each and every platform. You just upload it to one platform, and then this platform, in my case, SoundCloud, shares the podcast with other services. Again, like iTunes, Google, Stitcher Radio, etc., etc. And that's it. As soon as you upload your podcast, do a refresh, and you will see the newest episode in the iTunes feed, the Google feed, Stitcher feed, wherever. Now, in terms of the approval process, your podcast will not be approved instantly. You do have to go through each service one by one. I started with iTunes. They approved me within 24 hours. Google approved me within like a half hour, and Stitcher Radio approved me within 24 hours. So as you can see, you can get your podcast out and into the world within just 24 hours. And guys, I just think that's incredible. If you have a voice and if you have opinions that you want to share with the world, you can do it for completely free, by the way. SoundCloud does not charge me yet. Now, if I do get big enough with this podcast and I need more bandwidth, then of course I'll start paying the monthly price. I think it's like $7 for their cheapest plan. But still, for now, it's completely free and I'm enjoying every minute of it. So there you go, guys. There is my workflow of creating and sharing a podcast. It's really not hard at all. It just comes down to having a good microphone and finding out which host you want to use. Again, SoundCloud, it's perfect. It works, and it does exactly what I want it to do. So guys, there you have it. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments right below. And of course, send in your questions for the podcast to askdavidpodcast@gmail.com. And who knows, maybe I'll feature your question in a future episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.